Everybody say, say, how can I express my gratitude for all the many things you've done for me? Words are not enough to say thank you. So Lord, you are my everything. You're my everything. How can I express my gratitude? How can I express my gratitude for all the many things, you've Father, you done for me, yeah. Words are not enough to say thank you. So Lord, you are, you're my everything. See, I call you Jireh. You're my provider. I call you Nisi. You are my banner. I call you Rapha. Hey. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are. You're my everything. I call you Jireh. You're my provider. I call you Nisi. You are my banner. I call you Rapha. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are. You're my everything.
Hello, lovely people. Another Saturday afternoon is here with us, and we're live on BWTV, bringing you the community and the law, brought to you by courtesy of BWF Solicitors, our trusted partners when it comes to the law. We're delighted to enter into a new month. We've gone January, February, March, April, and May, and today is the very first day of June 2024. You want to have children. You want to raise a family. How do you do that? Do you want to do it the natural way? Do you want to do it the artificial way, the legal way? And when you have done that, when it comes to immigration issues concerning that situation, how are you going to deal with that? It's a very interesting topic this afternoon, and I believe that you would want to stick and stay so we go through the 2 hours together on the community and the law, brought to you by BWF Solicitors.
Hello. There are several questions in the community when it comes to the law, especially with immigration matters. That is why I'm inviting you to join us on the program, The Community and the Law, live on BWTV and brought to you by BWF Solicitors, our trusted partners when it comes to the law. We are going to have a very massive discussion on some of the issues of immigration matters that bother you. And they have the opportunity to meet you live on the program to explain to you all the updates that have come from the Home Office and also address your questions and concerns that you might have when it comes to the law. The Community and the Law is brought to you every Saturday between 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. UK time. We're live on all social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, at BWF Solicitors, at BWTV, and of course, we urge you to share the program and invite others to join us. Remember, it's at 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. every Saturday, live on BWTV. You have your questions. There are answers. So join us, learn, and empower yourself on the program, The Community and the Law. So pick up the phone and dial 0208 493 7345. Or you can send a text 07950 422 780. It's The Community and the Law. My name is Oreku Frimpon, and I am your host.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specialising in a range of legal services. Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced law firm specialising in immigration and nationality, appeals and judicial review, dispute resolution, family and matrimonial, and other family law disputes with international context. These include matters such as private child arrangement orders, contested and uncontested divorce, non-molestation for domestic violence, and financial remedy. Our childcare and family team appreciate the issues facing you at such a difficult time. Our advice is delivered in a confidential and sensitive manner. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner. With over 32 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stands for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity, inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance specific to your case. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Our team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with all your legal needs. You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, Seven Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Our main office line is 0208 493 7340, or our emergency line is 07712 761 884.
Welcome once again to another edition of the Community on the Law. My name is Ureku Frimpon. I'm delighted to be sitting in the seat to just moderate the discussion, so to speak. We have a lot up our sleeves to give you this afternoon, and we're doing this by courtesy of our very benevolent sponsor, BWF Solicitors. BWF Solicitors, located on the 4th floor of the Anna House, 214 to 218 Tottenham High Road, Seven Sisters, North London. They work Monday to Friday between 9:30 in the morning and 6 p.m. in the evening. You can contact them on 0208 493 7340, 0208 493 7340, or the emergency number 077 127 61884, 077 127 61884. They have an office in Ghana, and those of you in Ghana, you can contact them on 055 589 5959, 055 589 5959. Now, when it comes to issues of immigration, family law, when it comes to family, we talk about divorce and marriages and all the other bits around it. You want to open a business and acquire a certificate of sponsorship so you can get people to come work with you. And for you from outside of the UK, BWF Solicitors are experts in that, and it can guide you through the beginning, from the beginning to the very end of it, when you can get your sponsorship license and be able to operate, and also help you through the various reviews and updates that the Home Office require. And then again, we also would want to let you know that BWF can help represent you when it comes to going to court and also putting in applications and filing of appeals and the rest of it. So anything legal, talk to BWF Solicitors Go to the fourth floor of the Anna House, I've said already, and you would have the benefit of their wonderful service. So let's say thank you to BWF Solicitors for the support and also the opportunity for us to come your way every Saturday afternoon to bring you the community and the law. Earlier in the week, we would have had the opportunity of having the bit on Rainbow Radio, free legal education, then Friday morning on free legal education as well. To crown it all, we come your way Saturday afternoon with the community and the law. Now, this afternoon, I'm so privileged to have the senior partner himself of BWF Solicitors to be our guest resource person, and he's going to take us through that thing that I asked you earlier on whether you want to raise a family through the natural means or the artificial means, and what are the immigration rules around that. Now, we're going to look at surrogacy. Now, this surrogacy bit that we're discussing today, we're looking at intercountry. So it's between either the UK and or another country outside of the UK. Particularly, we may be concentrating on the laws in Ghana. So intercountry surrogacy and immigration rules. What do they have in common and what do we need to know? That's all about our discussion this afternoon. But before then, let's pick up some of the updates we have had earlier in the week. Remember, it's the first day of June 2024. Now, let's pick up the very first one, and that will be our nugget. Now, week 22 since we started the new series, we're saying that a student looking to switch to a skilled worker visa must either A, have completed the course they were sponsored to study, or B, be studying a full-time course that will lead to a PhD award with a higher education provider which has a track record of compliance. And two, the student must have completed at least 24 months of study on a course. We quoted this from SW 26.4a of the Immigration Rules Appendix Skilled Worker. I'll pick up the next update and then see we can get some explanation to that. Now, new leasehold rights for owners. The new law will make it easier and cheaper for leaseholders to buy their freehold. Two, it will increase standard lease extension terms to 990 years for houses and flats. The new law will remove barriers for leaseholders to challenge their landlords on reasonable charges at the tribunal. The new law again will ban the sale of new leasehold houses other than in exceptional circumstances. The same new law will end excessive building insurance commission for freeholders and managing agents. And finally, the new law will scrap the 2-year requirement before they can buy or extend their lease. Leasehold and Freehold Reform Act 2024 is where we quoted these ones from, and we'll be asking Uncle Ben, the senior partner of BWF Solicitors, to help us with that. There are other bits, other updates. I think I will want to run through that as well. Fee waiver delays for families. Now, vulnerable families across the UK are facing fear and uncertainty due to a Home Office backlog in processing their visa fee waiver applications, leaving them in a perpetual state of limbo, according to migrant charities. There are over 32,000 applications waiting to be considered. If you have an urgent application, ensure your application is made early and with all the supporting documentation. And I would want to add that if you need any specialist advice on these and how to go around it, don't pack your baggage, don't sit on the suitcases, call BWF Solicitors 0208 493 7340 or 077 127 6188. For this juncture, let me introduce my resource person, senior partner of BWF Solicitors, Mr. Bernardo's. We call him Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Craig.
Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate you spending time with us every Saturday afternoon. We're privileged to have a few updates come up, and I know with BWF Solicitors, you'd want us to have that handy and put them up our sleeves so we can work with them. Let's pick up the very first one. And this one says, Okay, I'll start with this one. Fee waiver delays for families. It's causing a lot of anxiety and uncertainty in a lot of people who have put in the application. What is happening?
Yes, so first of all, good evening to our viewers and our listeners, brothers and sisters, nephews, aunties, parents. Thank you very much to everyone. We've got a brand new month, June. It's beginning of half of the year. So the year is already done, I think, almost 50%. And I think we give, thanks to our Father for keeping us body and spirit in one intact body. We're grateful. And again, we say thank you to all of you. Without you, this program wouldn't have happened. If we come and, there's no one listening or even sending questions, then clearly it's going to be an exercise in futility. Kweku, it's quite concerning. I mean, I'm not surprised at the time for consideration of the applications is gone up as we speak. And there's a backlog of about 32,000 applications, which is not a huge number of applications. But usually when the Home Office has a backlog, we're talking about hundreds of thousands. Okay. This is only 32, which means that they're not treating it and giving it the most needed urgent consideration. Now, you will bear with me that, in the last few months, there has been an increase in both the Home Office application fees and also the IHS. So that brings a lot of people into the bracket of people who cannot afford the application fee. And I've always said that, listen, it's quite a huge sum of money to pay for your application. And the application itself, usually on a 2.5 years, is about 1,048. The IHS is about 2,587.50. When you add up, it's just over 3,600 for one person. If you're a family of 2, 3, then it multiplies and goes up. And that's a huge capital outlay for anybody in the United Kingdom. Right, yeah. And therefore, the advice is that if you cannot afford it, if there's a particular exceptional circumstance in your case, if because of a child, you need your fee to be paid, then put in your application early. At the moment, we're looking at delays of about 8 months. With us, we get a decision within 2 to 4 months. But that's a long time for anyone. The main problem is to do with those people who already have a status and have applied to enable them go to the next stage of renewing their 2.5 years. Unfortunately, if they haven't given you the code, which means that they haven't approved it, then you cannot proceed to make your application. Your employer or anybody who's changing a job, you obviously approaching the prospective employer with absolutely nothing. Your visa is expired because under paragraph 39E and again under paragraph 34 of the immigration application, this particular application for fee waiver is considered as part of the application process. So you will be protected by section 3 of the Immigration Act of 1971. Is it the ever popular 3C? 3C, that's correct. So that protects you. But a prospective employer hasn't got the time to go and check what a 3C is with a long letter from your solicitor. And he hasn't got the time to write to the Home Office and say, I intend to employ this person. What is their immigration status? Unfortunately, you cannot do a share code. They will have to physically fill a form online to check the employment status of this person. Now, when you read a Guardian on the 29th of May, which is where I picked up this article, there is a man who does Uber, and unfortunately for him, the Uber that he drives, he needs a license. And part of the licensing process is to look at your status. So he's lucky. He gets temporary license. He doesn't get a permanent license. But unfortunately for him and his wife, this is causing a lot of difficulties. And for most people in our community, they will also have this issue. And it's a problem that I always say to people, the only way you can get around it is to put in your application early. And then we go back to last year when we said, make your application early. Now, if we say the waiting time to receive a decision is between 4 months and 8 months, and your visa expires, say, in December, and we're in June, I would say put in your application. don't wait. If it comes and it's too early, you can still apply. By the time they get to making a decision, you would have clawed back most of the time that absolutely you wait for. So, you know, our people, our community, the reason why we put this, I think next week we will dedicate a whole program to it as to how to make the application. We've done one before, but we'll do it again. If your visa is expiring in December and your circumstance today is that you cannot afford a fee today, yes, you've got 6 months. There's a delay of between 4 and 8 months. They say they normally consider it within 4 weeks. Yes, we've done those that they've considered in 4 weeks, but the average time is 4 months to 8 months. Put in your application today. If it takes 4 months, it will take you to October. If they give it to you in October, you're 2 months away from December. If you put it in October, by the time they consider it in November, you've got 28 days to the end of your visa. Your employer won't worry you. You don't have a problem with driving your Uber or getting your Uber license. And if you're a security person, your SIA security will be renewed. You don't have to wait for too long, because if you wait for a month before you put in your fee waiver, remember that your application will be there for a while, which means that by the time that you have to prove to your employer that you're still allowed to stay here legally, you will not have anything. Yes, you're here legally under 3C, as Kweku obviously highlighted, but unfortunately, the employer hasn't got time. You want to go and work for, you know, some Nanusu joint bar. I haven't got it to go online and check this. So if you come and you can't give me your share code, I'm not interested. I'll go to the next person. And this is why I say, put in your application early. Don't wait 6 months to the time. Put it in 4 months, 5 months. Put it in. Don't wait, please. Tell everybody that put in the application early and don't wait.
Put in the application early, don't wait. And this is expert advice being given you by BWF solicitors. So vulnerable families across the UK who are facing fear and uncertainty, listen, if you have an urgent application, I'll say again, ensure your application is made early and with all supporting documentation. You can contact BWF solicitors on 0208 493 7340 and they'll help you through it. Now let's pick up the other one. A student looking to switch to a skilled worker visa must either A, have completed the course they were sponsored to study, or B, the two bits of that, be studying in a full-time course that will lead to a PhD award with a higher education provider which has a track record of compliance, and you must have completed at least 24 months of study on that course. Now, with the skilled worker and the student visa bit, there have been lots of things and updates on that. So it's also very appropriate when we see any new thing, we highlight that and bring that to your attention, and also get expert explanation to that. Uncle Ben, students who wish to switch to a skilled worker visa, this categorization and qualifying situations have come up. Is there anything that's different from what we know already?
No. So this nugget, as you can see, for the past 4 weeks, you know, I've taken a back seat, and you know, the other lawyers are doing this. Nugget was done by Pamela, one of our upcoming lawyers, and we'll talk about, you know, a significant case that she won yesterday, a surrogacy case, very, very complex, and then she won that. So she wrote this. Now, I must say that that particular section of 26.4a refers to work permit people who are, so this is dependent.
Okay.
But it applies to students.
Okay.
So if you're work permit and you're applying for work permit and you're a student, one, you should have completed your course, or that, you know, it's a PhD study and it's for 24 months and, you know, you've started a course, or B, that again, you have completed at least 24 months of the PhD course. So it's 3 requirements. You've completed a course, or your COS has expired, your CAS has expired.
Okay.
You've done your PhD course, or it's a PhD, you've done the 24 hours. those are the three instances. Either you're coming as a dependent or you're coming as a main applicant. This will affect you. So yes, those it still applies. And we've got a lot of people. And the reason why she brought this is there are so many people who who think that they cannot be the main applicant, but they can be the dependents. And I mean, whether you want to be a dependent or you want to be the main applicant, you'll be caught by this. And it's a problem for our community because Kweku, I'm not sure whether you're aware, there are a significant number of people who come to the UK as students and they don't step foot in the school. And unfortunately, why they do that, I have no idea. But if that happens to you, I mean, your limit, you know, it's your options are
quite limited.
Are limited, and it's a problem. Every week we see. This week I've seen at least about 15 people who have issues with skilled worker routes, either revocation, student switch, partner disagreement, bringing children. Just this week alone, and it's an area that is growing. That's why we churn out the videos and the blogs and the articles and everything, just to make sure that we're educating the community and we're bringing them up to date with what the law says. Yeah.
Well, bringing the community up to date on what the law says. There's one about those of you who have properties and you would want to make sure that you have some peace of mind around it. New leasehold rights for owners. The new law, I've listed 6 of those things that the new law would do. It will make it easier and cheaper for leaseholders to buy their freehold, increase standard lease extension terms to 990 years for houses and flats. It's going to remove barriers for leaseholders to challenge their landlords on reasonable charges at the tribunal. The new law will ban the sale of new leasehold houses other than in exceptional circumstances. The new law will end excessive building insurance commissions for freeholders and managing agents, and also scrap the 2-year requirement before they can buy or extend their lease. I mentioned earlier on that when it comes to everything about the law, property, and all the other bits, BWF solicitors can help you do that. Now, this new law, what is it allowing us to do or preventing us?
Well, Kweku, I think it's a significant new law for people who usually buy apartments in the UK. And usually when you're buying apartments, the freehold belongs to someone. And then you buy the leasehold, maybe 99 years. Now they say it should go up to 999, which is almost endless. I was with my brother last week. He was in my house. And, you know, he's waited for his lease to drop down to 50 years. And when it happens, your remortgage is obviously going to be a problem. Luckily for him, he's got it. So his way of negotiating is going to be. The problem with leasehold is that if you're doing conveyancing, you know, it's more expensive than a freehold because there's so many things that you have to check. You have to trace who the leaseholder is. You have to check the management pack, whether there's a service payment, the annual peppercorn rent payment, the ground rent that you have to pay. It's so complex and people were abusing it. So, you know, you can see that when your lease drops and you go for renewal, then you're going to pay significant sums of money. And that is why the government has said, no, I'm sure that they realize that, you know, people were waiting for this. There's a case that I'm doing, a very significant leaseholder we're buying. It's almost about 2 million lease cost. And one of the problems was to do with this lease. I mean, they amended it, but eventually this law came because they were telling us, oh, no, we don't have to amend it, wait for this law. We said, no, we're not going to pay 2 million for this. And then, you know, we have issues and they amended it. But now, thank God, the law has come. So basically, from now, you are not going to just buy a cheap leasehold. You will buy 999 years. It brings clarity. It brings sanity. It reduces the cost, especially the management costs and all those things that are tied into renewals. And sometimes even you're supposed to just pay something small for ground rent. The property I'm talking about, the ground rent alone is about 29,000, whereas people will normally pay a few hundreds a year. crazy. Well, it's in Chelsea, a very expensive area.
But that deserves it.
Ground rent of 29,000. That's almost like a mortgage.
Yeah, that's somebody's deposit.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
Hopefully, we've got this new law, and thanks to the Conservatives that they brought this before the election was called. Else, it would have had to start all over again. And I'm glad that this is, because not many people can buy freehold or buy houses. You have a single person. All my boys, when they were getting on the housing ladder, the first one, he bought an apartment.
Right.
And the second one, he actually lives in an apartment. He wants to now upgrade to a full house. So it helps with the young people to get on the housing ladder, and from there they grow their portfolio, and it's quite good for people, because some people see house as an investment vehicle, others see it as a home. Whether it's a home or investment vehicle, this law brings a lot of clarity and sanity into this very complex area of property investment.
Right. So if you want to have any further clarification on that, I would greatly advise you to contact BWF Solicitors. Number again, 0208-493-7340 or 077-127-61884. We're still live on the program, The Community and the Law, and is brought to you by BWF Solicitors. Let me, before going to say thank you to BWF Solicitors, again, acknowledge our viewers and our family members that have really joined us online. Tilly Duma says, hello, lovely family. Thank you very much, Tilly. You seem to be the very person that joins the call anytime we are on. Please kindly share, comment, and like. And that's exactly what I'm going to ask all of you to do. Sandra Fraser is doing her job as usual. Good afternoon. Says, good afternoon, Sandy. How are you? Good afternoon, all. Please share when you join. We appreciate your support. You've hit the nail right on the top of it. We have Kevin Asamoah. Hello, family. Trust you're all doing great. Another one from Lyrical Black. I am here, son. Uncle Kweku. Yes, Lyrical, I have seen you. Thank you very much. I give you a wave. God bless you for sticking around. I believe you have shared it and people are enjoying as well. The next one, we have Sandra Fraser's done that big thing, the various pieces of information about BWF solicitors there, Lawyer Eunice's number, Lawyer Charles, the office number, as I keep mentioning, and you can send an email to admin@bwfsolicitors.com. BWF Solicitors on the 4th floor of the Anna House, 214-218 on the Tottenham High Road, Seven Sisters, North London. For advice on adoption, family matters, immigration, civil litigation, 9:30 to 6 p.m. every working day. We are here to help and support you. And for okay, on YouTube we have Cherry S. Fraser. Good afternoon, all. Please share when you join, and we appreciate your support. We're going to say thank you to BWF Solicitors, and when we come back, I will give you a teaser for the quiz that we'll be having later on at the end of the program, and then we'll delve into our discussion. Our resource person and guest is a senior partner of BWF Solicitors, Mr. Bernard Owusu, Uncle Ben. We are live on The Community and the Law. We'll be right back.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specialising in a range of legal services. Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced law firm specialising in immigration and nationality, appeals and judicial review, dispute resolution, family and matrimonial, and other family law disputes with international context. These include matters such as private child arrangement orders, contestant and uncontested divorce, non-molestation for domestic violence, and financial remedy. Our childcare and family team appreciate the issues facing you at such a difficult time. Our advice is delivered in a confidential and sensitive manner. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner, with over 32 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stands for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity, inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance specific to your case. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Our team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with all your legal needs. You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, Seven Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Our main office line is 0208 493 7340, or our emergency line is 07712 761 884.
Welcome back, and thank you for sticking around. Intercountry surrogacy and immigration rules. That's the topic we're going to discuss. But earlier on, remember, I gave you the nugget about a situation. Look at the scenario and think about it, because I'll be asking you the question later on in the program. Abna is currently a student. She's on a student visa studying towards a master's degree. She's due to complete her course in July 2024. She wants to apply for a job to enable her switch from her student visa to the skilled worker visa. Which one of the following applies to Abna? A. Abna would not be eligible to switch to the skilled worker route if the start date of her new job is June 2024. Abna will be eligible to apply for a skilled worker visa as she has almost completed the course she was sponsored to study. And C. Abna would not be eligible to switch to the skilled worker route as she has not completed at least 24 months of study on her course. So look at it critically, think about it, put it on the back burner. We'll come back to it. But let's look at what we have to discuss this afternoon. Intercountry surrogacy. What at all is surrogacy? We need to get into the detail of that. So I'll go to Uncle Ben, look at the definitional issues, and then look at what intercountry surrogacy in itself is, and what are the rules when it comes to immigration around that. Uncle Ben, surrogacy.
Well, first of all, I mean, this topic has been treated before, but we've raised it because of what our client has gone through. And thank God on Thursday that we won that appeal. So we thought we should just re-emphasize essential aspect that surrogacy plays in our lives. Look, the Bible says children are a gift from God, and but doesn't mean that if somebody doesn't have a child, it means they don't have a gift from God. So clearly, there are other means of having a child as well. Yesterday we looked at on Thursday we looked at adoption, and now we're looking at surrogacy. Surrogacy itself is, an aspect of biology that allows you and your husband or your partner to have a child either using your partner's sperm and your egg, or your partner's sperm and surrogate mother's egg, whatever it is. There are two main types, but within the types, there are also subtypes. So there's a traditional one, which is what I mentioned first. So for medical reasons, maybe the mother cannot carry a baby or a pregnancy to full term. And so what they do is that they speak to their family member, a sister or a friend, or maybe a stranger, and ask the person to carry the baby. So what happens is that there is the fertilization outside of the womb. And then that is introduced, but that will have the genetics of the woman and her husband, which are the commissioning couple. And then there's the other one where the surrogate mother will have genetics with a baby. So it means that there's the woman's husband or her partner, his semen or sperm that is used to fertilize the surrogate mother's egg. Everything I've talked about doesn't involve intimacy or sexual intercourse. I know that for some people, this is a no-go area for either religious reasons or for some other reason. But as I keep saying, this is not for everyone. If you're blessed and you can have your own baby, we say hallelujah. But it's not everyone who can have their own baby. I can count the number of people who've walked into my office. The most recent one, it's a lady, and I'm so happy for her that she's now been able to brought the baby. This was a GP in her mid-40s. Unfortunately, couldn't have a child, and she told me that for medical reasons, all her womb have been removed. But she had a friend who offered to use his semen for the baby to be had. And she was able to get a surrogate mother in Ghana who provided an egg, and the semen was used to fertilize it, and they did an intro fertilization, and then that was inserted into the woman, and thank God the baby was born. She had to stay in Ghana for about 6 or 7 months because of the paperwork. There is a cheaper and a quicker route around the paperwork, which is to bring the child here. I'll talk about that later.
Right.
So I've laid the foundation. What is surrogacy? Surrogacy is a legal arrangement between a woman and another man and a woman, or another woman. So very complex.
Yeah,
so the arrangement or the agreement is a legal process.
Okay.
The reason why you need to have this in writing, and there has to be a contract, is that the woman who is a surrogate mother will sign in to say that at the end of the process, I want to hand over the baby to you. Now, in UK, family law reports are replete with instances where, there's been an issue where the child has not been handed over, and it might happen in a foreign country, and then it becomes legally complex. So it's always important to have an agreement. So the first thing to remember is that it is an arrangement or agreement. When you look at our surrogacy laws, there are a lot of them. There's a Human Fertilization and Embryology and Reproduction Law, 1985, and then the Human Fertilization and Embryology Law, 1992, and then there's one in 1995, and then there's one in 2000. Ghana, we've only got one. And for the first time in the history of Ghana, our forward-looking country is recognized surrogacy. Okay. So in the Birth and Death Registration Act, I think it's Act 1027, that recognizes surrogacy. And in there, it's given the two types of surrogacy and said an intending mother can have an arrangement with someone to have a surrogacy arrangement, and within that, they will have to make an application to the High Court. After 12 weeks of fertilization, they have to apply for pre-birth parental responsibility, and then subsequently, if that doesn't happen, before the child is born, 20 weeks before the child is born, they can apply for parental responsibility. So once all this is done, you've got an arrangement, you've got a contract.
I hold your thought there. I will come back to where there's an arrangement, the contract. The mother that carries the egg and the baby for the duration of the pregnancy would obviously have a bond with that child. Now, when they sign in the agreement, has there been any situation, or is it possible for the mother that carried the baby or the woman that carried the baby to say that I can give consent up until a time?
No. So the consent is signed before the process starts. I've expressed this before. I have been put in touch with some clinics in Ghana, and I'm educating a couple of them about the process. But the agreement is signed. There are bits and pieces that I'm not so happy with, because if I'm going to have a child, I want to know who I'm having the child with. I want to know their medical composition. I want to know their background. I want to know their genetics. Do they have any genetic illness? What sort of person are they? Do they have any ills, behavior? Do they have any addictions? Are they drug addict? Do they take weed or cocaine? I want to know that. So if a client comes to me from the word go, when we're doing the agreement, we put this forward to the other side because the other side, which is the surrogate mother, will need a lawyer. She needs a lawyer. I've always insisted that any of these arrangements that I'm involved in, the mother needs a lawyer. So she will have a lawyer. I know that there's a big deal about introducing her to you because what the doctors have told me and the clinics have told me is that they don't want a situation where the two parties know each other, where the mother can blackmail them or where they can go back and say, oh, the baby that you gave us is a deformed baby. We don't want the baby anymore. So what they do, and maybe I'm talking too much, so I'll leave some things out. But there's the emotional side that you've mentioned.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen.
Okay.
No, the emotional side doesn't happen. So I can tell you that once a baby is born, that's it.
That's it.
Ties
are broken.
Yeah, the medicals is done, and that's it.
Okay.
And then the commissioning couple get to see the baby. The medicals are done. Everything is fine. Then the paperwork is finally done. The child is handed over. That's their baby. And the joy that it brings to people.
Obviously.
The joy that it brings to people. So, and that is why I've made it my business that I will help the clinics in Ghana to make sure that their practices are up to UK standard. Because some of the things, we're still talking. Well, hopefully it will work out well for everybody. But at the moment, my clients are happy. I don't know whether I was there when I was speaking to our client on Thursday, and marvelous. I mean, you see, this is what gives me the joy. The fact that he's so happy, and he said, Bernard, this is the best time in my life.
Oh boy.
And this is a 40-year-old man. He said, this is the best time in my life when we won and the appeal was won in court. Normally, appeals want to go to court, the judge will say, you hear from us, with all the stress. And he's had the stress for about a year or more. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'll tell you, Pamela did the case.
Wow.
Yeah, Pamela did the case, of course, under my supervision, but she did the case. And we won this marvelous decision yesterday. And the child is coming. The siblings, they're 4 of them. 3 of them they've gone back because of the bonding issue. So, but all 4 will be coming back again to the UK to come and start their life in the UK. And it's a beautiful time. And that is why I enjoy this job, and I wouldn't change it for any other job at all.
You were at the point where you say the legal bits are done and you've had the agreement. Now, when the agreement is had, let's look at what people can do with that, let's look at it when the agreement is signed outside of the UK. What could be done for the young person that's joined the family and going beyond that, immigration issues?
Well, so now we've looked at a formal arrangement for the child to be conceived. So we've looked at the biology. Once that process is done, you've got your contract or agreement. The other side had a lawyer. The process of the insemination has happened. The clinic is documenting the process. You've got everything. All this is key. The hospital record is as important as the agreement that you've reached with the surrogate mother. So all the hospital records, even the incubation, if there is any, the fertilization, if there is any, the insemination, if there is any, all the processes must be documented. And you must have access to the document, because when I am making an application either in UK or in Ghana for a parental responsibility using a form C51, there are information there that they ask me. Do you have a DNA test? Do you is there evidence that one of the parents is connected? Because if one of the parents is not connected to the child, then you, in the UK, you will not get a parental order done under the Children Act. You can't do that. So you get all that, and then we decide whether the child is coming here under a 297 application, which is with indefinite leave to remain, under Appendix FM, which is 2.5, or under Section 2 of the British Nationality Act, which is a British citizen otherwise than by descent. The process to go through is that because one of the parents will have a genetic connection with a child, if the parent is British, under Section 59 to 59C of the British Nationality Act 1981, it determines who the parent or the father of the child is. So the 59 defines the father of a child as the husband of the mother when the child was born, if she is married.
Okay.
Now, I haven't mentioned who the mother is because in law and in fact and in biology, for the UK, as far as we are concerned, the mother of the child is the person who carried the baby. So there's no dispute there. So the mother is always the surrogate mother, not a commissioning mother.
Okay.
So that one, there's no dispute. Where there's dispute is the father. So if it's your sister who is going to carry the baby, if she's married, please remember that your husband will not be the father under Section 50 of the British Nationality Act. It will be her husband.
So how do you get that mother to become the mother for the ordinary person?
So for the mother to become the mother, you do a parental order application.
Okay.
In Ghana, there are two. There's a pre-birth and then the post-birth.
Okay.
Both will give you a parental order.
Okay.
In the UK, it's the same. It's a parental order. Okay. So then the mother becomes the parent of the child. But the father, because he's got genetic connection to the child, the father will always be the father, except if the surrogate mother is married. So always make sure that the surrogate mother is unmarried.
Okay.
It's a single person. Because if she's married, then the law under the British Nationality Act construes the father of the child as the husband of the person and not the person who's provided his sperm. So those are the processes. So either the British citizenship or paragraph 297 of the immigration rules, which means that they come here with indefinite leave, or even if you're under EU, Appendix EU, either EU 11 or EU 4, then the person can come either with 5 years or with indefinite leave, or if you've got 2.5 years, then you can bring the child under the 2.5 years rule. It's pretty straightforward. Where there's a problem is getting the British passport for the child. British passport is the most well-guarded documentation in the UK. And the Passport and Identity Office will always ensure that before they give you a British passport, they will tell you up and down. And there's a case that I referred to, it ended well, but there are those that have done and the passport is taken about a year or so. And sometimes it can take less, but we have a way of going around it. There's something that we do. It's a trade secret, so I'm not going to share it.
Obviously, that's the more reason why I always ask you to contact BWF solicitors, because they will know how to do that strategy and plans. It's all about that. Well, we're talking about surrogacy, and Uncle Ben is taking us through what needs to be done before the child is born. And after the child is born, what needs to be done. Now, parental responsibility and right, you would have to go through some of the technical things, and he is telling us how to do that. And definitely, if you have any question, you can text that to us on 07399208468 for text and WhatsApp. And also later on, when we activate the lines, you can call us on 0208-493-7345. 0208-493-7345. It's the community and the law. We have several people who are watching with us. I've mentioned Tilly, Sandra. We have Kevin Asamoah as well with us. Ricky Elbotry, you watching with us. Don Ike Boateng, thank you for watching. Mildred Kumasa, Fidel Apreku, Isaac Kofikisi, Sonny Ajay Tiwari, Ata Damwa, we have Sandra Boabing, Afia Abekwe, you're watching with us. Mildred Kumasa, you say interesting discussion. Yes, very interesting, and we do that every Saturday afternoon. So don't forget, if it's the first time you're watching with us, go on to the comment section, either on Facebook or YouTube, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the link so that others will also benefit as you are doing right now. We're taking another break, and when we come back, we continue the discussion and get into the point where we will invite you to bring in your questions and concerns. It's all about you and the law, and BWF Solicitors is proud to be bringing that to you on BWTV.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specializing in a range of legal services. Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced law firm specializing in immigration and nationality, appeals and judicial review, dispute resolution, family and matrimonial, and other family law disputes with international context. These include matters such as private child arrangement orders, contested and uncontested divorce, non-molestation for domestic violence, and financial remedy. Our childcare and family team appreciate the issues facing you at such a difficult time. Our advice is delivered in a confidential and sensitive manner. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner, with over 32 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stands for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity, inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance specific to your case. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Our team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with all your legal needs. You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, Seven Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Our main office line is 0208 493 7340, or our emergency line is 07712 761 884.
We're still live on BWTV, and BWF Solicitors is supporting us to bring you the community and the law. This afternoon, we're looking at intercountry surrogacy and the immigration rules. Now, let's look at it this way. Picture it. The commissioning parents have done all that needs to be done. The young person is born. Lovely situation. Everybody is happy. Now, Uncle Ben earlier on mentioned parental order. I want to look at that again. Now, when we say parental order, can we unpick that? And something is asking me, or something is telling me, is it the same thing as adoption, or what? Uncle Ben.
Well, Kweku, that's a very sensible question. Obviously they are different. The parental order comes under the Children Act as a child arrangement order. Adoption is a totally different concept. The parental order is usually in relation to surrogacy. Adoption is in relation to adoption. Adoption order is in relation to adoption. With adoption, very likely the two parents, or even if it's a one-parent adoption, does not have genetic connection to the child. With a parental order, one of the parents must have genetic connection with the child, else you cannot make an application. So that's the difference. With the UK is compulsory, with Ghana is compulsory. So you cannot have a surrogacy without doing the parental order application. Ghana, you can do before the child is born, 12 weeks after insemination. In the UK, once you've come here, you brought the child, you can make the application, which is what we're doing now for one of our clients. Then the genetic connection in there is her partner. They're not married, so it's a partner. She corrected me the other. So no, Ben, we're not married. It's my partner. I said that's okay, don't worry. So they're not married, so that's a partner. But the partner is connected to the child. The partner is connected, and you cannot do a parental order application if in the UK, if one of the parents is not connected to the child. Yes.
Now, talking about agreements here and there, we're looking at possibly two different countries. The UK, it has its own jurisdictions. Ghana, for instance, may have its own jurisdictions. Now, if I enter into a surrogacy agreement here in the UK, would it be enforceable in Ghana? And if I do it in Ghana, would it be enforceable here in the UK?
Oh, yes. I mean, if you've got a surrogate child from the UK and you've gone to Ghana, the child is yours. The child will be recognized as your child. In the same way, we always do it from the other side. So, there's one that I've done from Nigeria, which I'm doing now. There's one that I've done, they are not Ghanaians, but they did it in Ghana. So I'm doing that as well. There's no international, widely international acceptable standard for example, in the UK, if you pay the surrogate mother for profit, that's illegal.
Yeah.
And they will not accept it. In Ghana, the law is silent. So those are the nuances. But once you've complied with the law in Ghana or in the UK, both countries will respect what has been created, which is a child who's been born for you through a legal arrangement, although there might be a genetic connection.
Okay. Now, the payment. For instance, I begin and say that I need you to carry this for me for that, and I pay you off from the beginning. So whatever expense that comes up, you would have to, because I would have paid you a bulk sum of money. Is that allowed and accounted for within the agreement, or I've paid you a deposit, maybe, for lack of a better expression, paid you a deposit. All the other expenses I'll take care of until the baby is born.
Yes. So the way I do it, it's not everybody who is frugal. There are people who are thrifty, and there are people who are frugal. So the way I do it is, and this is just advice, because normally when they're doing it in Ghana, the clinics want to take total control, although I influence the agreement and we discuss it. Sometimes I speak to the doctors. Because you don't want to pay too much money and then the money is wasted. You want your child, because the child is your child. You want your child to get the best medical care. You want your surrogate mother to get the best medical care, and then you want to have a healthy baby. And pregnancy is one of the most complex medical situations, because pregnancy is a medical situation. And we know people could die through pregnancies or through childbirth, or even stillbirth, and all those things. So what we negotiate is that the bulk of the money will go towards the medical expense, feeding, and sometimes accommodation. Because you might get a woman who is living in a ghetto. Okay? So there are, Ghana, you might have a ghetto where there are weed smokers behind the building, riffraffs, gangs. So you want to accommodate her in a reasonable place. And I don't know, for some reason, my clients choose between Kaswa and those areas. I think I don't know, but I think the accommodation there is reasonable.
Yeah.
So they are housed, they're normally housed. They're free people. They can do whatever they like. But you want to try and influence their life and say, please don't go and take these drugs. Don't go and smoke this. And we try and put this in the agreement. You know, the lifestyle is very, very important. So the money is to make them comfortable.
Okay.
Because everybody's pregnancy is different. Some people will get a pregnancy, you know, my own daughter, Eunice, she can come to work till the day she's giving birth. And
some are as strong as anything.
Yes.
You didn't even realize they were pregnant.
I know. And for some people, you know, after the trimester, they obviously are sick, and you know, they throw up and they can't keep food in and they are weak. So you need to factor all this in. And usually will be somebody who's never had a child before, so they don't know what their pregnancy will be like. So when you're negotiating, and I tell the parent, the commissioning parents, that you need to be as generous as you will be to yourself. Because the woman is being you, is carrying your baby, and is carrying your husband's baby. So the way your husband will be happy when he sees you pregnant and, you know, spend on you and spoil you rotten and everything, that is the way you have to treat the commissioning couple. I wish it's all like that, but there's always a middle person who is arranging this. Not a middleman, I would say, but a middle person. Because as I said, they don't want the contact to take place, so that once the process is completed and the legal work is done and the mother is giving consent and everything, that's it. You don't see each other again. So I understand why they're doing that, but I think that, you know, the process should be a bit more humane and understanding, because in the UK, somebody will want to spend maybe a few hours with the baby and, you know, touch them and everything. But, you know, this, once a child is born, that's it. So the cost, medical, accommodation, feeding, clothing, and some allowance for travel and all those things. There's one case that I did where the woman actually rented a car throughout the process.
Okay.
So we had an Uber driver who will pick the surrogate mother every time she's going somewhere. And I don't know whether it was a way to spy on her as well and feed her back with her lifestyle. But, you know, I thought it was cute. I thought, oh, this was a very sensible thing to do. So the money aspect is you can pay for expenses, and you can pay to refund expenses. And expenses, you can have a doctor who is a doctor, a proper doctor, and you can have a doctor who is a quack doctor. You can get a doctor in Ghana, you can get a hospital, you know, which will charge you in dollars, and maybe a consultation is about $50 or $100. Or you might have a doctor who will charge you 100 cedis. Or maybe you want the woman to go on the health, what is it, the national health insurance? I don't know, but if it's my baby, I want to look after the mother very well, because I want the child to be healthy. I want the mother to be healthy through the process so that she can give birth and we can have a live baby.
The child is born in or outside of the UK. If I am British and I want to apply for a British passport for this child that was born through surrogacy, is it the same process as acquiring a British passport for any child, or this would fall in a different category?
It's the same process. So the birth certificate will have the commissioning parents' names, the father and the mother. They will have a court order. Remember that I said the agreement you have to keep. Also the medical records, the prenatal and the postnatal, all the processes including the insemination, the fertilization, all the processes, the records, you need all that. Then when it's an overseas passport, because the person is physically not here, you don't fill the same passport form. You fill a form called OSC. Is it OSC or OC or OS? It's a British overseas passport. And then you make your application. You can't do it online. It has to be hand-filled. once it's hand-filled, it's posted to them with all the supporting evidence. They will then issue the passport, but they will do a lot of interrogation. They will ask you to jump through hoops. Sometimes they ask you to jump low. Sometimes they ask you to jump high. And when they are satisfied, they will issue the passport. The passport will go to Movenpick Hotel, and then you will go and pick the passport. Sometimes they will interview you, do a virtual interview, just to make sure that they understand the process, the parents and everything. And once they are happy, they will issue. But I keep saying the process can take as long as 4 months to a year, sometimes and over. Once the surrogacy is done, you've got your legal document. We have a shortened, cute, nice process. There's a client that we filed for. In a week, the child had what she's supposed to get. And as I speak to you, the child is here with the mother. The father is still in Ghana, who will join them later. So, Kweku, it's a joy. It's when it's not everybody who wants a child, but when you want a child and you can't have one, especially for the women, it can be heart-wrenching. And the process that I've explained is to encourage other women that the adoption is there, but also if you want to have a biological child, you and your husband, you want your husband's biology to be there, then this is a process. Or even if you want both your husband and yourself, or you can give the egg, but maybe you cannot carry to gestation, full gestation. So you want the surrogate mother to be the incubator for you. Of course, that's also another process. And this is there. It can be done. Your sister can do it for you. Your friend can do it for you. And a stranger can do it for you.
So let's assume that I have contracted somebody to carry my thing for me, and to make her comfortable, I bring her out of the UK into the UK to spend that period of gestation during the pregnancy, and when it's done, the person can go back. Is that possible?
Well, yes. If you want the person to come here for medical treatment or to give birth, of course you can. Yes, you can bring the person. You can bring the person.
Would you advise?
Oh yes, why not? Yeah. I mean, remember that if somebody's coming here for medical treatment, to do the process here, you can actually do the process here.
Yeah.
Yes, why not?
Yeah.
I will advise that if you've got the money. I mean, obviously it's not cheap. The fertilization, even couples who are going through IVF treatment or fertility treatment, it's very expensive here. So that's why even people who are doctors and GPs and lawyers and people who are at least are well off, don't do it here and they go and do it in Ghana. There's a reason why.
There's a reason.
Because it's quite affordable in Ghana.
Okay. Yeah. Well, if you want any expert advice on this, Mr. Bernard Osu has done it for people. He's still doing it, and you can also take advantage of his expertise to get your surrogacy arrangements all through, and of course to go through the various hoops that you can get the immigration rules on your side. It's the community on the law, and at this point we will invite your questions and your concerns on the topic we have tweeted: intercountry surrogacy and immigration rules, or any other legal question that you would have, and we will put it to him and he will help answer all those. So the phone numbers are 0208-493-7340, 0208-493-7345, or you can send a text and WhatsApp message to 07399 208 468, 07399 468. So get yourselves ready. I'll be right back.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specializing in a range of legal services. Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced law firm specializing in immigration and nationality, appeals and judicial review, dispute resolution, family and matrimonial, and other family law disputes with international context. These include matters such as private child arrangement orders, contested and uncontested divorce, non-molestation for domestic violence, and financial remedy. Our childcare and family team appreciate the issues facing you at such a difficult time. Our advice is delivered in a confidential and sensitive manner. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner. With over 32 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stands for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity, inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance specific to your case. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Our team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with all your legal needs. You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, Seven Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Our main office line is 0208 493 7340, or our emergency line is 07712 761 884.
Welcome back, and thank you for sticking around. The lines, as I said, are active 0208-493-7345, or you can send a text or WhatsApp to number 0739920848, or you can leave your questions and comments in the comment section on Facebook and YouTube. Let's say, to pick up a few of the one. Alexa says Happy New Month to everyone. Hello, Kweku and Uncle. I've applied for my EU settlement as an EU national a month ago, but no response from the Home Office. How long does it take to get a response?
Well, I mean, if you say there's no response, I'm not sure whether that's accurate, because once you've made your application, you either have to go and do your biometric, or if you use your biometric residence card to do it, they would have captured, and you would have had an email to say that they've received your application. And then after a couple of weeks, if they've identified you, you get a COA. And then after a couple of weeks or a few months, you will get a decision. If they want to ask for more evidence, they will ask you by email, and then you will have to upload it to them. So I'm not sure that, but you can clarify, and then I'll pick it up from there. Yeah.
Okay. So yes, clarify, as Uncle Brenda said, you can send a text so we can get that further information for you. Uncle Ben, I've been in this country for 21 years. I have a stamp in my original passport showing when I entered. I made a different passport that I used to work. Can I apply for stay for long residence using my original passport?
Yes, your original passport proves beyond reasonable doubt that you entered on this date. What you need to show is that although you entered, you haven't left. So the continuing evidence of residence will be utility bills, gas, water, electricity, school certificates, P60s, P45s. You say, well, I'm illegal, how can I work? Well, if you're illegal over 20 years and you're still here, of course you're working. Except that in certain instances, some people say family members provide for that, which is okay. Tenancy agreement, credit card statements, bank statements, yes. There are certain accounts now, whether you have residency or not, they still do it for you because it's online. You will have to prove for every single year, you have to prove that you are here. So if you can't, then it becomes a problem. In addition, you can get friends and family. If there's some gaps, and not too many gaps, I should say. So over the 20 years, if let's say you can prove 6 years, maybe there's 6 months gap, another 6 years, 6 months gap, and another 6 years, 6 months gap, you can get people to fill those. But if the gap is going to a year plus multiple times, then it becomes a problem.
Okay.
But a passport can be used. Yes, it can be. Yes.
But from this question, if we can put it back on, he's saying that he has a new passport. I'm assuming that he probably may have even changed his name one way or the other, because if he's going for a new passport, obviously he may want to change the name, and people do that.
Yeah.
Would that be detrimental?
No, it's connecting the two names. So if your name is Kwiatenewa and now you're called Araba Taylor, you just want to prove that that is your name. If the age is changed, you just have to prove it. But yes, the old passport is important. The new passport is what allows you to make an application. It doesn't mean that if you don't have a valid passport, you cannot make an application. What it means is that at least then you've got a valid ID. And your application becomes less complicated than if you didn't have any valid passport at all.
Okay. 0208493734. Another person has one on the surrogacy. He says, can I ask my own sister to do the surrogacy?
That is a preference. And that's a preference for me as a person, because I like to know what you're bringing into the world. So your sister you would have known her from when you were children. She's got the same genetics like you. You know that she will not go. Her lifestyle will not be drugs and drink and alcohol and stuff like that. So she will give you a healthy baby. So yes, it's very important. Also, your sister, it's part of you. So she will get to see the child, and you will also get to see it. But I understand why people don't want to do that, because they want the child to be far removed from the woman who conceived and had her. And if your sister is always in your life. So when Kweku is a baby and the Kweku goes, so Kweku, who's your mother?
My mother's sister.
I know. I mean, you can hide it, but some families, people who talk too much, and they might tell them, "Oh, you cry. Your mommy is not your mommy. Your mommy is your auntie," and then they spoil the whole thing.
Well, we're still waiting for your comments. Put them on the comment section here. Alex says, "Yes, I had a reply to the application. That the application has been submitted." Okay, Alex, thank you very much. Another one. I'm an EU national, not a family member. Does that change anything?
Alex was the person who said that he's applied for the EU
national.
No, it doesn't change anything. The process is the same. The validation is the same. So I assume you use your EU passport, which has got a chip, or your EU ID card, which has got a chip. So you didn't go and do any fingerprint. It will come. It's not a problem. I mean, these days, there's something that we'll talk about, the e-visa. Because the e-visa allows you to use a chip-embedded passport.
Right.
And I know recently they said they were increasing the passport fee. And the people in Ghana were complaining. Meanwhile, we that were here that we need a chip-embedded passport, we're not complaining. And they're making things difficult.
Difficult, right?
If you come to connect your e-visa to an EU account, I've done 3. They've all failed. I don't want anybody to panic, because I've written to them. We'll get around this. It's the most difficult thing, because when you go into your EU account, it will say your e-visa account is here, connected to your EU account. When you're connecting it, you can either use what is called a scan of your QR code, or you can use a code. If you use a code, it takes you to your telephone. The telephone then brings your app. The app should have been the EU app, but the app takes you to the UK ID app. I spoke about this 2 days ago, and it's causing a lot of problems. So it will tell you that you're using the wrong document, but it's the right document. And, I think it's a technical problem, and I'm sure that they will rectify it. But again, can I take this opportunity to advise everyone who hasn't done their e-visa to start doing it? because we've done half of the year.
Is it this one? Maybe we can show that so people would see. This immigration ID check. Is it what you get when you get on the thing?
Yes, but this is not for you. What is for you is a EU immigration ID check. They're two different ones.
Two different ones.
Yes.
So this is for UK immigration.
This is for UK immigration, and it makes it quite difficult. Let me see whether I can share mine. So I shared it the other time. Where is it? There's an EU exit. Let me just go on the thing that we did, Kweku.
Okay.
So start. Okay. Okay. It's not coming. Okay. So that's it. I don't know whether. Yeah, that's it. It's come. Yeah.
Yeah, it's come. Yeah.
So that's the EU. The EU. So this is what you, the EU people, when you're doing your e-visa, this is what the QR code or the code should connect you to. Okay. This is where it should connect you. It's not connecting them to this. It's connecting them to the other one. Oh. And then the other one keeps saying the ID document is not recognized.
Obviously, it's a different thing.
It's a different app. So it's a technical issue that I've picked up and I've written to them to tell them. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you'll get it from here. You don't have to miss a community and the law for anything. Not a goal, all the gold that of blessing. Yes. You can send in your comments and your contribution to Hida Momo. You say you're watching us. Thank you very much. Masha Idi. Good afternoon, lawyer. Please, my question is: if someone is refused UK visa, how long does it take for his or her fingerprint to wipe out of the system?
It doesn't wipe out, please. So it will not wipe out. It will not be wiped out. It's always there. There's a reason why they keep it there. Is to protect you, the person, so that nobody steals your ID.
So once you have your fingerprint taken, it's locked in there, and it will be locked to you as a person that took it, so nobody can steal your ID. For the e-visa bit, those of you who have your biometric resident card and you have expiry date as 31st December 2024, don't panic if your 2.5 or whatever period was giving has not expired. By 31st December is saying that everybody is going on the e-visa bit. So do your registration, open up your account, and get it sorted. We just demonstrated what apps it would take you. If the EU bit is taking you to the UK immigration bit, don't panic. Uncle Ben is saying that it would be corrected. It must be a technical hitch somewhere. We're still taking your contributions. The phone lines are active: 0208-493-7345 and 07399208-468. Has Brexit affected the process of intercountry surrogacy for intended parents from the UK? Tony is asking.
No, it's not affected anything. Our UK law, we've always had our UK law separate from the EU law when it comes to this area of law. Although Brussels 2 and Brussels 1 and Brussels 3 were things that we could use when there's a case in Europe or the UK, but it hasn't affected the surrogacy rules.
Okay. Well, Jackie Achampon, you are watching with us. Thank you very much. Let's keep taking the comments. And I want to remind you that later on, not too long from now, we'll be looking at our quiz again. I gave you a scenario based on the nugget we gave you concerning the students and the switching from student visa to working. Now, Abina is currently on a student visa studying towards her master's degree. She's due to complete her course in July 2024. She wants to apply for a job to enable her switch from her student visa to the skilled worker visa. Which one of the following applies to Abina? There are three of them. A, Abina will not be eligible to switch to the skilled worker route if the start date of a new job is June 2024. The second one is Abina will be eligible to apply for a skilled worker visa as she has almost completed the course she was sponsored to study. And then C, Abina will not be eligible to switch to the skilled worker route as she has not completed at least 24 months of study on her course. Now, this was based on a nugget which we brought you earlier on. Let me just recap that for you quickly. It says a student looking to switch to a skilled worker visa must either A, have completed the course they were sponsored to study, or B, one, be studying a full-time course that will lead to a PhD award with a higher education provider which has a track record of compliance, and or must have completed at least 24 months of study on that course. Yes, so have this in the background, at the back of your mind, sorry. So when we come to that, it will be quite easy for you. It's still the community and the law. We'll be right back.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specialising in a range of legal services. Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced law firm specialising in immigration and nationality, appeals and judicial review, dispute resolution, family and matrimonial, and other family law disputes with international context. These include matters such as private child arrangement orders, contestant and uncontested divorce, non-molestation for domestic violence, and financial remedy. Our childcare and family team appreciate the issues facing you at such a difficult time. Our advice is delivered in a confidential and sensitive manner. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner, with over 32 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stands for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity, inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance specific to your case. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Our team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with all your legal needs. You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, Seven Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Our main office line is 0208 493 7340, or our emergency line is 07712 761 884.
Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. Those of you that have just joined us, please pick up the link, like the page, and share with others so they can also benefit from that. We are taking your calls, we taking your questions and all that, so Uncle Ben would answer them for you. Kevin Asamoah has come up with this one. It says, Uncle Ben, good afternoon once again. I use the EU app checker you just shown, but it doesn't show any connection like e-visa, but rather asking me to do either pre-settlement status or settled status, which is making us confused. Any further advice? Cheers.
Yes, Kelvin. I have shared the e-visa link before. I'll try and do that now. The link is obviously something that you must have. And if you are not using, you have to go on the e-visa link before you can do what you're trying to do. So I will show you what I'm talking about. And Kweku is being tech savvy today. So, you know, there are apps. Can you imagine? Today, I'm showing stuff, you know?
Straight from your phone.
Yeah, straight from my phone. Please don't steal my bank account details. Okay, so this is what we've got. Oh, yes. So, Kelvin, this is what I'm talking about. You can see that this is what they've sent to me, and we've received almost over 200 of this. And when you go at the bottom, it says go to. That is a link. This is what you have to use. Okay? If you're just using the app, it will not link you. When you go on the EU account, you already have an e-visa there. So you go on the EU account, log in with your passport or biometric, whatever you use to open the account. and then go there, and then you will see. I'm not sure whether we can do anything. Let me see whether this will work. Yeah,
That shows a video.
it shows a video, right? And the video is there, which you can watch, and obviously that's something that you can do.
Okay. All right. So Kevin, follow that link and go to that site and pick up your thing and continue from there. Vera Kiaminta, you're watching with us. Thank you very much. My son was born here and he'll be 10 years next month. Both parents have Ghanaian passports. Can we apply for a British passport for him straight away?
Well, you haven't given us a lot of details. First of all, who are you? Do you have indefinite leave? Do you have limited leave? When you had your child, do you have indefinite leave or limited leave? Do you now have indefinite leave if at the time you have? So the known unknowns are too many unknowns, and clearly that won't help us. So fill the unknowns with knowns, and then we'll be able to.
Well, let me try and see if I can put myself in those person's shoes. So, for instance, if the mom is on limited leave,
yes,
the dad is on limited leave,
yes,
but this child was born here. Let me assume that the father probably even got his limited leave based on the child when they were 7 years old. This child is turning 10. Can they?
Yes. Well, if the child is turning 10, then you know that there's a provision in the British Nationality Act which says that a person who's born in the UK and has lived in the UK for the first 10 years of their life. So it says a person. It didn't say a child.
Okay.
So even if you had a child here, they stayed here for 10 years, and you took them to Ghana, after 20 years, if they come, they can apply for British citizenship.
Okay.
So this child, because they were born here, we are assuming that the parents did not have any status at the time, and they still don't have indefinite leave now. So what they're going to do is that once the child turns 10, they can apply under the law, British Nationality Act, for the child to be given British citizenship, not British passport.
Okay.
Because the British citizenship is what you acquire first before you get a British passport. Yes.
Okay. So is it different from registering the child as a British national?
It's a registration.
Okay.
So the children, if somebody is under 18, the process of acquiring British citizenship is called registration.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Sedwadu, you have joined us. Thank you very much. If you have a question, please don't hesitate. The lines are still active. We've got a phone ready for you, 0208 493 7345. Now, this afternoon, we've looked at intercountry surrogacy and immigration rules. We are at this point taking your calls, your contributions, and concerns. Abigail Asari says, how should a surrogacy agreement be structured to ensure it is recognized under UK law? Is it not recognized?
It's recognized.
Okay.
I mean, every one that we've done, any one that I have been involved in, it's all recognized.
Right.
And every surrogacy in Ghana is recognized in the UK.
Okay.
But you need to follow the Ghanaian law to reach the UK law, because the UK law requires you to have a parental order. You can get that in Ghana. That's a possibility. You can then either get a passport, a Ghana passport for the child, for the 297 application, or for the FM route, or for British citizenship.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, yes, it is recognized. She was asking, how should it be structured? Is there any particular template that should be followed?
Well, so the surrogacy agreement comes in various parts. And listen, I'm a lawyer. We charge for our services, but I'll tell you, the standard surrogacy agreement, you will have to determine lifestyle issues. You will have to confirm that she's not making profit. You also have to confirm what you'll be paying for. You will have to confirm that the woman, and it has to be part of the agreement, the woman has received independent legal advice. It's very crucial. Once you've done that, and you've got your addendums attached or the annexes, and then you've structured an expenditure route, because I like to agree the expenses and the money, and so that the woman knows what is coming to her. so that, you know, there's no disagreement on the way, because you don't want a surrogate mother, say, when in the middle of 6 months and you don't see her again, because they are not locked up in a room. You can't lock her up in a room.
No.
She's free to go and come anytime.
Anytime, yeah.
So once that they've signed up and, you know, they like the pregnancy and, you know, they think they are not happy with you, they may be lost. Where are you going to find them? And that's why I say that whatever you do, you need to structure how you contact, the fact that she needs to submit to prenatal checks at the regular intervals. But please don't be restrictive on her lifestyle. You know, you can't say you can't eat banku, you can't eat akpala, you can't eat fufu.
Somebody will say one way or the other, irrespective of the agreement, they're doing you a favor.
Yes, well, I mean, the surrogate mother, you see, and that's why you have to have an agreement. You don't want one person to think that I'm doing you a favor. I've had disputes. Yes, I've had 1 or 2 disputes, and the disputes that we had was because whoever was supposed to structure what he was supposed to structure didn't structure it. So between the 2 parents, there was a dispute. And, you know, after 3 months, the whole process broke down. And that's it. You know, that's it.
Well, the reason why there needs to be a legal agreement is that disputes can happen, and you have to be on the right side. Okay, McDonald, what number should I use to call? 0208-493-7345. 0208-493-7345. That's the number. You have just a couple of minutes, so if you could hurry, that would be very useful. What if the child is 1 year and only one parent lives in the UK? Does the child qualify for British passport?
Well, Vera, okay. Vera, how are you? So, Vera, the British passport issue is to do with the connection of the child to a British citizen. So if the father is a British citizen, or if the commissioning mother is a British citizen and it's her egg that was used, then the child will be British citizen. So for the child to be British, because the child will be born outside the UK, the parent must be, one of the parents must be British citizens.
Okay, that's done. 0208-493-7345, or send a text or WhatsApp to 07399-208-468. We have just about a minute for us to go on to our quiz segment, and then we will be having that discussion and explanation of the answer that would be correct. Then we draw the curtains down. It's still the community and the law, and it's brought to you by BWF Solicitors, our trusted partners when it comes to the law. You have seen evidently clear on this program that there are things that require being astute and also being so very well versed in the law to be able to do that. This afternoon we have discussed intercountry surrogacy, and we looked at all the bits and pieces that you need to know. And of course, when the child is born, what the immigration rules say about that. The quiz is up next after this.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specialising in a range of legal services. Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced law firm specialising in immigration and nationality, appeals and judicial review, dispute resolution, family and matrimonial, and other family law disputes with international context. These include matters such as private child arrangement orders, contestant and uncontested divorce, non-molestation for domestic violence, and financial remedy. Our childcare and family team appreciate the issues facing you at such a difficult time. Our advice is delivered in a confidential and sensitive manner. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner. with over 32 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stands for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity, inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance specific to your case. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Our team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with all your legal needs. You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, Seven Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Our main office line is 0208 493 7340, or our emergency line is 07712 761 884.
Okay, just as I was going to do my quiz, somebody has popped into the studio via phone. Hello.
Hello, good evening, Uncle Boy. Good evening, Dr.
Good evening, madam.
The patrol, we person this question, but I couldn't hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, that must say, yeah, Uncle Boy, I see the verbal brushing. The patrol, my question is, me near about four a dependent, but me papa will have. But me coming to school, no, when me am passing to when you're with the person who say, ne papa betime agina tene mu ana ne papa ye ni ono so 25 years. And my second question is say Mr. Bakuso were British ni me who say a poppy or TikTok ni social media say o are British ni 3 years obetime ye indefinite is it true ana because of the question.
The second question no enye true. Why? I'm say British nationality no more can and I will be a misconstrue no. So who kun and I will yere a Britisher. Now what na ha lawfully for 3 years. Now oh indefinite stay. They are unya indefinite stay. So they now bit me apply for British passport. The enkase wa worry British at 3 years bit me nya indefinite. So obi kan sa my uncle hwe no na ya peke ne mfengwa. Why?
And the question is about so we put around 3 years, which may apply for.
Okay. Under Section 6.2 of the British Nationality Act of 1981. So who ana wo yere a Britisher. Now what na ha lawfully for 3 years. Now on the day I will apply for a British citizen no or indefinite stay. Who here say train for 12 months after the indefinite no. Obet me apply for British citizenship. Under Section 6.1, I was say what na lawfully for 5 years. I was say winya indefinite 1 year abba. The difference between Section 6.1 and 6.2 is say Section 6.2 no ukun ana wo yere a Britisher. Aware no just 3 years of lawful residence. Because aware no 3 years so just 3 years of lawful residence and then indefinite no be apply. Obia ni ho a obeware British at 3 years e be man indefinite leave. The 3 years ni a reference to British citizenship and a reference to indefinite leave. I will say when you indefinite no and so now apply for British no. Indefinite no so 5 years and I do call indefinite and 3 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And about my first question.
The first one, yes. Nebawa ha no you student with the Metusala age no class still bit me apply man. I was saying about you dependent so you over 21. I was on it and also Shano. Either way, no bit me. Why?
Okay.
Okay.
The last question.
Yeah.
Me ma wo kromo ase. Me ne go for mobile and chain and then me want and then the mom. As the best patch of the city say. Say me Jimmy the time na the mom time I the man me the only be the man me the future. Let me have your mom the change man and me nya me the san on
I was so new mun nyina ya
so many on the chia pan.
I was so mun nyina mo ya application boom. I 2885. Nti mumu bia ya 2885. Why?
Mpacho you.
Okay. Eunice.
Super. Bye. Okay, then with that, we'll go to our quiz and I'll look at the question again. I know you have had a look at that, so keep your answers coming through quickly. Abna is currently on a student visa studying towards a master's degree. She's due to complete her course in July 2024. Abna wants to apply for a job to enable her switch from her student visa to the skilled worker visa. Which one of the following applies to Abna? Abna will not be eligible to switch to the skilled worker route if the start date of a new course or new job, is June 2024. Abna would be eligible to apply for a skilled worker visa as she has almost completed the course she was sponsored to study. Then finally, is it the third one, or C, Abna would not be eligible to switch to the skilled worker route as she has not completed at least 24 months of study on her course. Now, what are your answers? Let's see what's happening. Eric Kwabna-Sante says is B. Abna will be eligible to apply for a skilled worker visa as she has almost completed the course she was sponsored to study. Eric Kwabna-Sante, yes. Go answer. Kevin says C is correct. Abna will not be eligible to switch to the skilled worker route as she has not completed at least 24 months of study on her course. Charles Emery says B. Okay, let's go to the next one. Yawin Team says B. That is, Abna will be eligible to apply for a skilled worker visa as she has almost completed the course she was sponsored to study. Yawin Team also says B. Robert Jemfi says B. Who else? Joseph Isaiah or Isia. Okay, says B. Right. Next one, we have Victoria Ajiman says C. Abna will not be eligible to switch to the skilled worker route as she has not completed at least 24 months of study on her course. That's one from Victoria. Hagar Esilfi B. The next one, Irajwa C. Okay, Irajwa, you brought us that on Facebook. Thank you. Okay, so now let me go to the expert desk to find out what Bernard Fosu says C. Bernard, if you get it wrong, Ben will kill you because you have his name as well. Okay, argument, let's see what it is.
Yeah, this examiner, she's tough. The examiner is tough.
That's how Pamela, isn't it?
Yes, that's Pamela. She's really tough. She's really tough. So I can see what people are trying to do. Everybody who said B, because the job starts in July. Sorry, the job is in July. No, the job is in June. But her course
ends in
July. That is why they're saying she can, because they think, oh, it's just 1 month per. If it's 1 month per DOI, she can do it. By the time she will start the workers, and the law makes provision for people to start work after. So she will complete in July. The employer can say start in August. That is possible. Those who are going on the 24, that's too far off. The answer is actually A. Abna will not be eligible to switch because one of the requirements is basically that either the course has ended. So even if they are still a student and the course has ended, they can switch. Or they are no longer students, which is that they've completed a course. I didn't say they pass. Because even if you get you've completed a course, the course is finished, you've ended it. I'm not saying don't go. When you arrive and you just go and get your biometric and you stay at home, this will not help you. The idea of this is basically that in this case, what Abna can do is to ask the employer to make her start in August, and then that will be after July. That's the only way to get around this.
Okay, so the answer is A. One of the requirements for switching from a student visa to a skilled worker visa is that the student must have completed their sponsor's course of study. As Abna's course ends in July 2024, she will not be eligible to switch from the student route to the skilled worker route as she has not yet completed the course she was sponsored to study. Now, Uncle Ben said something, and I want to encourage people that if you want to learn from the best. And dear Pamela, last week she was sitting in this seat and she hosted the program. she put the quiz together, and the technicalities and all that, she wanted you to do some thinking around it. So Pamela, thank you very much, and well done. I believe that people who would want to do their apprenticeship or what is the thing that training yes the training, if you want to do that, contact BWF Solicitor. Interestingly, I just put you on the spot. I have a lady I met, and she's like, can you please ask your lawyer to allow my daughter to do her learning with her? Yes, please do put the application in. Send an email to admin at bwfsolicitors.com, and then you would be considered. I'm not saying that you can't be picked up, but they don't just pick anybody who will be lazy. You have to do a lot of hard work. When Pamela comes in, you can ask her. Well, tradition cannot be broken, so I'll ask Uncle Ben to give us just a quick summary of what we discussed: inter-country surrogacy and the immigration rules.
Well, quite cool. So, surrogacy, clearly it's not for everyone, but also it's for those people who, for one reason or the other, are not able to biologically have their own child. It's a process where you can have someone carry your baby for you. There's no sex involved. Your husband is not going to sleep with a person. Everything is done outside the body and then implanted or inseminated in the body. And therefore, if you are going through biological problems, finding difficulties in conceiving, you're getting ahead in age, then clearly this is something that you can consider. If you're British, the child will be British. If you're not British and you're on indefinite leave, the child can get indefinite leave. If you're not British, not indefinite, but have limited leave, the child can get limited leave. Clearly, this is an area that you can look at, but I will always advise you, seek legal advice here before you embark on that sometimes joyous journey. And I say for those people that have been associated with that, I've helped them, they all come smiling and have been excellent parents.
Well, with that, we want to say thank you so very much. One, to the senior partner of BWF Solicitors, Uncle Ben, for spending time with us and also sharing knowledge and experience. And then to all the members of the BWF Solicitors family, those here in the UK and back home in Accra, want to say thank you very much for your support, research, and admin support. We are so very much appreciate that. And to my co-presenters, Namayeti and Pamela Oakley, thank you so very much for your support and the motivation. To my studio producer, Professor Ade, to Sheila Ankara and Pat Mododu for the admin and aesthetics, and to you out there, what can I do without you? I want to invite you again to join us same time next week for another edition of The Community and the Law. My name is Ureku Frimpon. Good evening.